Good morning. It's Bobby Dupre with the Bobby Dupre Show, presented to you each Thursday morning at 7 a.m. And of course, it shows on the cable companies on Sunday after replays in its entirety, I might add, on Sunday afternoon at 3 p.m. And of course, many of you today are using the internet devices that you choose to use. I used to say computer, but today probably the iPhones and iPads probably easier to get to, and the more you can travel with them a lot easier than you can with even a small computer.
Okay, so here's our new website, and what you want to do now, it has a little bit of a different look, and one of the reasons we switched websites is because these things are going to be mobile friendly. That means you can watch them on your iPhone and on your iPad and all that stuff, and it works a whole lot better. And as you can see, those shows are changing right there in front of you. And if you go right here to the shows tab, you click right there, you pull that down, and you're gonna see Bobby Dupre Show, and right to the side of that it says watch the Bobby Dupre Show on demand. You click on that, and then all of a sudden it will take you directly to the Bobby Dupre Show. So you can watch it right there online. It just looks a little bit different, still operates the same way.
And we wanted to get our two sponsors.
Sure. Let's pull those guys up right here. The first one we want to talk about is Carl's Thriftway. Now, you took a picture while during the week over there. I'm going to show that on screen right here. This was on their front door. Looks like Saturday, May 2nd. There is going to be a fundraiser for James Abbott Vedrine. Or actually, it's James Abbott Vedrine Memorial Park in Washington. It's a St. Jude fundraiser. Barbecue cook-off, cabbage ball tournament. For more information, you can check them out on the Facebook page. They have a Remembering James Facebook page. So go out there on Saturday, May 2nd.
And it's going to be a typical, they're going to have a barbecue cook-off. They're going to have different fun jumps and just a lot of good. And the cause could not be better.
Absolutely.
And of course, the Vedrine family really went through a long period of time where they were actually lived, the mama of the child of James actually lived up in Memphis for a period of months at a time.
A lot of families have to do that.
That's correct, and I was kind of kept abreast of it by, I do business with Tina Vedrine, who was at Tesh at the time, but now is with J.D. Bank on Crestwell Avenue. Put in a little plug for Miss Tina, and they have kind of got their family back to, back to normal again. They'll always remember James,
that's the hard thing.
That's the hard part.
Yeah, I've got a good friend living in Memphis right now, but at St. Jude's for the same reason. So you've got another picture here. Remember, I tell y'all every week that you can text in your refills to Carl's Thriftway, and there it is. There's the phone number right there, 337-290-9253. So Carl's Thriftway, anytime you need a refill, you just text to that number, and it'll walk you through the process. But go see them over at Carl's Thriftway, a gift shop. There's plenty items in the gift shop for any birthday, wedding, any kind of special occasion. It's a great
graduation.
That's right. Graduation,
confirmation,
right,
communion, all
they've got it
these
all.
special events that take place year-round. They have it for the special occasions.
They've got it all. So go see them over at Carl's Thriftway. And let's also talk about Targill Butcher and Seasoning Supplies. Butcher supplies, cutlery, kitchen supplies, and I think we have a picture also that you took of Ted. Let me get to that. Tap dancing over here. There we go.
Ted and is on the right, of course, and on the left is Melanie, the mama of Jade. And of course, I remember when Jade came along as an infant, and today looks like she's dressed up going to a prom.
That's what I would think.
Going to the prom. Boy, and look, the kids today, it's not like when we went to the prom. They dress it up, and I'm sure the limousines come by and pick them up, and those, it costs a little money, but generally what they do, they team up 4 or 5 couples, and they split the cost, and the parents are glad to see them traveling, having fun. They know they're going to have a little special fun. We're not going into it, but you know what I'm talking about. And they care. They
I'd rather have
the kids come back
somebody else driving them around than
driving
them
around. That's correct.
That's for sure.
So,
but Targill, make sure you go see them for your seasoning, butcher supplies, cutlery, kitchen supplies. They plenty of seasoning blends over there. As a matter of fact, I ran into a good friend of ours, Andrew's cousin this weekend, Miss Phyllis, and she's got her own seasoning now called Fire in the Hole, and she gets it bottled and packaged right there at Targill Seasoning.
There you go.
Yeah.
And we want you to consider the services that are offered by our sponsors. We have some good sponsors, good, reliable, trusted firms that we're fortunate to have as sponsors of the program. We can talk about them and talk about them from our heart because we do business with them ourselves.
That's right.
So we know them personally in most cases. So try to help them anytime you possibly can.
That is correct.
All right, let's get on to a few other. I was at the Palace Cafe. That would have been last Monday. This Monday. Today's Wednesday. We tape on Wednesdays for the Thursday 7 a.m. program. And I met, excuse me, Michelle Prejean walked up to my table and introduced herself. She says, we've met before. In fact, she says, you spoke about me on one of your programs when you were having some treatment, maybe had surgery at Lafayette General Hospital. And I said, well, sorry that I don't remember you. I should have remembered. Very attractive, pretty lady. And, you know, I recognize those.
Those stick out in your
That's
mind.
right. She said, you recently talked about my father who died in recent months, Mr. Junior Prejean. Oh, I said, I knew him personally, so I was talking from personal experience. I said, he loved the horse racing business. He had Janet's filly, which was a very successful quarter horse filly. Won a bunch of races, and we all had fun back in those days, big black filly. And then, of course, he managed Bertrand Lumber Company, downtown Lawtell, Louisiana,
Yeah.
Metropolis, right in the middle of the
That's right.
metropolis. And he did that until it closed. And you would have thought he was the owner the way he treated the business. He was there early in the morning till late in the afternoon when it closed down. And he also had another habit that was well known in the community. He was a professional gambler, I guess you could say. He traveled up to Vegas, Houston, Lafayette, Opelousas, the big games, and was known to be a cool operator, was not a drinker. The others, by late in the night, maybe had sipped a little bit too much on some of that strong alcohol they were drinking.
He was on his game.
And he was on his game. He just took his time.
Call that rope-a-dope.
Time was in his favor. Anyhow, thank you, Michelle, for saying hello. And let's see here. 232, met a cousin, Kathy Stanford. Right, okay, now I know. I went over to the clerk of court's office to cancel a mortgage. I had loaned, I had sold some property on with them. I kept the mortgage on it.
Okay.
And the man paid me off, man and wife paid me off, so I went over to the clerk of courts, and he lives out of town, so I was going to, do the service of canceling the mortgage, send him all the certificate and everything. And as it turned out, Michelle's first cousin, Kathy Stanford, she was a Prejean, Raymond Prejean was her father. I said, well, he died too, and I talked about your father. She said, you knew Daddy? I said, I sure did. He serviced some of our office equipment. She said, oh, if I'm not mistaken, I always say if I'm not mistaken, that's kind of my little...
That's your disclaimer.
That's my disclaimer,
Yeah,
that's right. I think he retired from Southern Pacific Railroad, where a whole bunch around a few from the Opelousas, Lawtell area, but a lot of them from Lafayette. Mr. John Stutes and Mr. Bob Walker, who was my neighbor at the camp. They gave him that beautiful funeral. He was not a man with any wealth or anything, but I'll tell you, it was one of the finest funerals I ever attended. And it was attended basically by fellow workers with Southern Pacific Railroad. Bubsy Caillouette worked there when he got out of high school. He worked there a short period of time. Raphael Dupre ended up being one of the top bosses out of the New Orleans office of Southern Pacific. Big time guys. Anyhow, better get back to try to finish where we're starting here. But anyhow, good stories, meet a lot of people. And we have another picture we want to show of the couple. If you could find that couple from France, mes amis de la France, Marie et Claude Cadoux, C-A-D-O-U-X. Instead of L-E-D-O-U-X, c'est C-A-D-O-U-X, Cadoux. J'ai parlé avec les autres à la café Palace Café sur Landry, l'autre bord de la Maison de Cour. Ooh, I'm getting pretty good here. They understand English pretty well, so I can kind of mix it up. J'ai parlé avec les autres, ça dit les jeunes ont un petit peu de trouble avoir un bon job. Ça, c'est Madame Marie et Monsieur Claude. Les autres, moyen retard, ils sont toujours jeunes, trop jeunes pour retard, mais ne sont pas tout fous comme moi. Travailler jusqu'à 78, 78, yep. 78. Et ma santé est bonne, moi, les autres sont bien bons. Les autres restent à un petit village de la France et sont ici pour à peu près une autre semaine et prendre une visite à peu près de 3 semaines. Et Stongon, quand ça laissé à Zaplousas, Stongon to Arnaudville. Et je lui donné le nom à Mavis Fruget. Et j'ai appelé Nounou. Ça a ouvert pas dans lundi, Monday, mais n'avait un temps qui peut travailler, ça va rester là et donner un petit tour à les cadeaux, monsieur, madame. Et ça m'avait une bonne chance pour parler français. Et tu parles français avec tes mains quand ça force, comme ça me force moins. Mais ça, c'est le plus j'ai parlé en français sur mon programme de tout le temps. Marie et Claude, je vais dire bien merci pour le faire connaissance. Et je ne connais pas eux autres aujourd'hui, mais prends un bon trip back à la France. Whew, that kind of struggled me there.
I tell you what, you could have just gave me the winning lottery numbers right there, and I'd be out of luck.
Real nice couple, and I treated them for lunch, and I try to do that when I meet these travelers to give them a good feeling about our Acadiana area, not just Opelousas,
sure.
Acadiana area, the 9-10 parishes. They all want to be called part of Acadiana, but we can't give them all that chance.
That's right.
We got to keep our little French Acadian living lifestyle kind of to ourselves. But we welcome them to come in and tour our beautiful area for the food, the dancing, the music, and the people themselves.
Sure thing.
You can get to meet Bobby Dupre and Cajun des Aplousas. Okay, we're stopping for the first break. Welcome back to the second quarter of the Bobby Dupre Show. For those of you viewing for the first time, we do it in 4 quarters, 1 hour's programming. We try to stay around 15 minutes per quarter, but you know, I get into these long conversations, and then when I get into French like I did today, we don't get to do a lot of French, and I guess I should do it a little bit more often, and my French could get better, but I enjoyed doing it regardless. And would you give us a couple of our good sponsors, please?
Sure. Let's talk about Dixie Storage. See Dixie Storage for all of your storage needs, located in Port Barre, Opelousas, and Washington. And you can visit them
Million
online.
square feet
Million
of
square feet. That is
storage
correct.
space. So they should be able to accommodate you just about any need that you may present.
You can visit them online at dixiestorage.com. That's what their website looks like right there. They also have Dixie signs and A+ glass. So go see them over at
And
Dixie
Dixie
Storage.
Trucking.
And Dixie Trucking.
Dixie
that's right.
One Trucking.
That is correct. Let's also talk about the LHC Group. Keith and Ginger Meyer started this company not very long ago, and this thing is, well, I say not very long ago, but it's been,
30 years, I guess.
It's been 30 years?
Well, I don't know if it's quite that long, but let's just say that long. But they're in 30 states, too.
The point
plus.
is, yeah, it's a relatively young company, and these guys are just all over.
Traded on the stock market, too. We hardly ever mention that. I haven't mentioned that in a couple of years.
And that's one of my big regrets, not getting in on that IPO when they came out.
$14. I remember the original, and today it's in the low 30s, mid 30s now.
But as you can see, their services include home health, hospice, long-term acute care, and they provide a lot of healthcare professionals for things like hospice and palliative care. So we're glad to have LHC Group as a sponsor. Visit them online at lhcgroup.com.
Right over in Abbeville, there's a young lady that is, I guess, singing across the world. She's on this program, Voice, and she has gotten all the way up to each week a couple of singers are eliminated. They probably started with 30 some odd singers, and they're down to 8, and she's in that top 8. And I'm speaking, of course, of Corin Hawthorne. And I missed this week's program, but she's a very young singer, and she's with, how do you pronounce his name?
Pharrell.
Pharrell. I said Farrell, but it's they pronounce
Farrell down here.
Down here, but Pharrell Williams, and of course he's one of the hot numbers out there right now, and he chose her. And what they do is they give them special attention from week to week, and she's been assigned pop star Gwen Stefani. Stefani, you ever hear that?
Oh yeah, yeah. She was big. She actually hosted The Voice for a season. She was one of the hosts on
okay. Well, she's working with this girl. So, I mean, there's no losers on the program, but this girl is going to be a big winner.
And we hope so.
We probably should get a contract. Probably get a contract with some music company.
Oh, she's made it this far. She's going to go even further.
Hey, and she's old. She's 17 years young. Can you imagine? That's a baby yet. I bet your mama hates to see her traveling off like that. Scared she won't come back. She'll end up in Hollywood. Go ahead. Or Memphis, Tennessee. Or New York City. Or maybe back in Abbeville. Who knows?
Maybe back in Abbeville.
Playing to the whole city.
That's right.
Entertaining the city. So we have the Dolores Stanberry Education Scholarship Fundraiser is going to be taking place on Saturday, May the 2nd. That's not this Saturday, but next Saturday. And it's going to take place at the Dustin Miller Zydeco Hall of Fame Club. That's on the between Opelousas and Lawtell on left-hand side when you're driving west. You're going to have barbecue sandwiches, backbone stew. You can't beat that Cajun backbone stew. Music by DJs. All proceeds are for education and scholarship funds. Donations are appreciated. If you're not a rider, you can donate. That's the way I give to. And of course, the son, Anthony Stanberry, school board member for St. Landry Parish, is the person that came up with this particular fundraiser, and he donates back scholarship funds in St. Landry Parish. This is going to be the 10th annual bike ride. And when we say bike, we're talking about motorcycle, the big bikes. But anyhow, hope to see you there. And if I'm around town, I promised him that I'd take my bike out and get the dust off of it and ride it with him. I had it serviced recently with Ronnie Vassar, a personal friend of mine, did me a little favor there. Appreciate him. And went over to the Brisket Basket Cafe again on North Market Street and visited with Wilbert Kennison and his family. It's either 2, possibly 3 of his sisters that work and cook and serve, the whole, and a brother and a brother-in-law. I mean, it's a family affair. And the brisket is delicious. James Guglielmo came in for the first time while we were there yesterday. We meaning Alton, better known as Bruce the Barber Broussard. While we were there, and it was James's Guglielmo, the attorney in Opelousas. That was his first time. He said it won't be the last. In fact, he left, I think, with 1 or 2 orders to go. So we need to get to help this family. They have really spent a lot of money decorating the, it's worth the trip there to get a Coke and look at the, and then while you're there, you're going to eat something because you're going to see
next time I'm
the
in
work.
Opelousas, I'm going to have to go.
You promise me.
I promise.
I'll pick up the tab if you have any problem. If the food,
promise.
okay, you promise. All right. We need to help him. He's a retired fireman. I mean, he's local. This is a local family. Invested a lot of money, and now we need to support him. And one night last week, it was either Friday or Saturday, several went in and said that they heard about it on the Bobby Dupre show with Matt and Bobby talking about the place. And I just can't, I love helping those that need help. If you don't need the help, you've already got to that place. But you started, every business starts just like they're starting this business here. And he's known for his barbecue, and he had a mobile, he still has his mobile trailer to go to special events. So anyhow, give them a hand. And I know they'll appreciate it.
Sure.
And then the Rotary Club of Opelousas, that's the sunrise, that's the morning. They're going to have the 19th annual duathlon race.
Duathlon, yeah. That's when they run and bike.
Run and bike. And this is going to be a 2-mile run and a 16-mile bicycle ride. Yeah, that looks like a good little motorcycle ride.
Yeah.
And they're going to do that with their own pushing. And that's going to be on May 3rd. It's a Sunday, May 3rd, at South Campus of Opelousas General Hospital, beginning at 8 a.m. So just keep that in mind. And if you're a bicyclist or you just want to make a donation, contact Bobby Brinkman is the president, Wayne Reed is the director, and Richard Hidalgo is the secretary. So we'll have one more week to remind you about this next week. And the time flies by real quick. Saw Greg Bordelon a couple of days ago. I went to bring him some paperwork at his office, and I got him to come out. He was busy, but I told the secretary I just need to shake his hand, and I congratulated him. He made the newspaper, he and his beautiful wife Marguerite, and Greg were attending the alumni, UL alumni banquet that held each year. They honored Dwight Andrus as the honoree, I guess, alumni of the year. And of course, the Dwight Andrus family have done a lot for the Lafayette community. I met him through the insurance. They have Dwight Andrus Insurance, the real estate, and a lot of good things they've done for the community. And every year I get the invitation to go to this because I'm an alumni, believe it or not. For those of y'all that I haven't told that, you couldn't tell that I finished college, but I did. That's before they were talking good English. They were just glad to have us there. Our 200 and I think I say 220. Ramp says was about $216 for room, board, and registration per semester. And we slept 4 in a little room, but it was clean, and we had fun, and we have memories that we can talk about, so it wasn't all bad. But anyhow, today it's a lot more than that, but let me tell you, if you can help someone, if you can help your child or a grandchild or a neighbor, or if you can start a scholarship fund. I started mine in 1968. I didn't have many more than nickels to rub together, but I just felt that I wanted to give back to the community. And I've continued to try to give back to the community. And while we want to break, I mentioned God has been good to me, giving me the opportunity to make some money, some real money. And a lot of people don't have the money, but they have the skills to volunteer their services, and those are just as important as my dollars. And believe me, I give you just as much credit for going out there and doing all the things you do.
Sure.
For me, on the Santa breakfast, oh, Bobby Dupre did this, Bobby Dupre. It's all the people that come and volunteer. You come and you tape it every year. That you participate and you.
Sure.
If I had to hire, well, I couldn't afford a guy like you, you know, professional like you. I couldn't afford it. So that's how important it is. But all my waitresses and waiters and
Oh yeah, everybody. It's a big outpouring of love and support
Lee and
for that.
Shirley and Troy, the donation of the facility used
And
at
it's a
no
great cause.
cost, and the chefs and the food that's brought to us, everything is free. Those are the people that
Yes.
I like to honor.
Absolutely, I agree with you 100%.
Greg and Marguerite, y'all look good. You look good. We have another. Oh,
take another break.
Another break. Another break. All right. I was wound up on that one. I'm telling you. I'd do good on Sunday in a little church.
Well, we're going to calm down for a little bit and take a 1-minute break and come back.
Monsignor Derwin, you don't want me to get on a pulpit anywhere in town. I'm going to take some of that big crowd you got over there.
No, you don't.
They're going to come and find out what the story is.
We'll be back in 1 minute.
Just joking, of course. Welcome back to the third quarter of the Bobby Dupre Show, along with my sidekick, Mr. Matt LeBlanc. Ça c'est Cajun. C'est un nom Cajun, mais il peut parler un mot. He can't speak one word of French.
Well, I heard papa in there.
LeBlanc. LeBlanc. It's easy to
speak
say.
that word.
Yeah, LeBlanc. But anyhow, we're going to get a couple of our good sponsors here.
Sure, let's talk about Quarters Casino, the travel plaza over on the north side of Opelousas. If you're heading out of Opelousas, make a stop at, I think it's the first exit past Opelousas right there.
Exit 23.
And you know the exit right there, and you're right, 23. It's on I-49, Chevron Fuel, El Pico de Gallo Mexican restaurant, authentic Mexican food. They also have a Subway in there. They also have a Hunch Brothers Pizza, and all the amenities
Friendly
you would
staff
find. Very
in
friendly
the
staff.
convenience store, the division of the, I mean, they have everything. It's a complete travel plaza. And then they have the little gaming machines if you want to try your luck. When they had a little flood about 2 years ago, while they had to be cut down a little while, they brought in new machines, new carpeting, got the cleaned all the inside, you know, get the smell of the cigarettes and all that out. I wonder if they're still smoking. Can you still smoke?
I think in casinos and truck stops you do, but I
Still
don't know.
can? I don't know about
I'll be
that.
honest.
I know
probably individual places.
I know Lafayette, Chubby Carrier, our Zydeco Cajun from Lawtell, Louisiana. One of his first gigs he played was at my Outdoor and at Toby's when I owned Toby's. And he has been for several years now working hard to get smoke-free where musicians play, and the waitresses and waiters work in all of this, and secondhand smoke, they say, is just as bad. So I'm not getting in that dogfight, but it's quite controversy, and you know more about it, and I know you don't want to get involved in it either right now because you play there, and you're not going to stop it. But some places are actually passing laws.
Sure.
I remember, 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago, over in Beaumont, on the way to our annual fishing trip over at Crystal Beach, right near Galveston there, right on the outskirts of Galveston. Stopped in, went to one of the guys, Butch, had an interest in a little bar, and I guess maybe a little bit of music and all on occasions. But to smoke, and they enforced it very stringent in Beaumont, it had to be over 25 feet of smoking area designated away from the door and all, because they don't want the smoke. You go stand by the door,
you just soon get through it.
You're going to walk through it, and then you're going to suck it up with the air conditioning, and heating is going to bring it in the building. But anyhow, so as a big drive, and Chubby, of course, is a very significant force to try to promote this, because he's well known and respected. And he's from Lawtell, St. Landry Parish, Grammy Award winner. Woo!
Yeah, that's right.
Go ahead, Chubby.
Let's talk about
we
St.
love you,
Landry
big boy.
Homestead also. St. Landry Homestead locations, Opelousas, Eunice, Port Barre, and from what I understand, we've got a new location coming soon in Port Barre. Eunice already has a new location, and the Opelousas location has been retooled completely.
Completely. The whole internet system has all been brought up to snuff. And that's something you continually having to do, because when you get through
moving, the internet side of things.
The internet, yeah.
And they've kept up with it.
They pretty soon won't want my money. You know, they probably won't want my business anymore, since I can't do it online.
Oh, they'll find a way to make it work for you.
You think so? Yeah.
They'll find a way to make it work.
They probably have a concierge department where we can go just sit down and we'll have a private banker.
Well, you probably will, but you know that's the thing about them. They give you both ways to do it. You can do it on the internet, and you can go sit down and do it the old-fashioned way.
And they already have that at St. Landry Homestead. I'll tell you that.
Personal concierge.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So visit them online at stlandryhomestead.com. Now, you've got quite a few pictures you took over the weekend.
Yeah, we better get to. Some people will think my camera was I was just faking the pictures.
Well, before we get to the ones you took over the weekend, let's take a look at this.
We had three of them. We didn't get to last week, if I remember right.
This was sent to us by
Sarah
Branton. Sarah Wagley Branton, and
that was on Facebook, and Vicki picked that off because we met basically this same group of girls over at I think it was the soiree last time they had a soiree, and of course the person that they're all hugging and praying and tending to here is Miss
Lynette Artal Mingarelli.
Mingarelli, that's right. Kind of hard word for me to pick up every time, but you helped me on that. And of course, Paula is the one who had introduced us, Vicki and I, to Lynette. And then that's some friends of theirs, and they're over at MD Anderson here.
They were on their way to MD Anderson for some results, I think, for Lynette.
Lynette has been fighting and giving it a good battle with her cancer. So let's hope that Lynette is on the mending way.
And you got a picture of two brothers here.
Yep,
gotta be
Ronald and Donald twins. I never could tell the two of them apart. No. They still look quite a bit alike. One, of course, lives in Opelousas as a retired veterinarian, married to Ludima, and the brother lives up around Colfax and married a Hodges girl, if I remember right. Boy, that's stretching my luck. I know the Hodges family is in that family. But two fine guys. They were a year ahead of me in school, and probably a year ahead of me in cutting up too. Boy, they had a Jeep.
I don't know about that.
Boy, we all wanted to be their friend. They always had a vehicle, and I remember the Jeep they had. Boy, we'd put 6 or 8 of us in that little Jeep. The old Army Jeep would just get going. But once we got it going, we had fun. Love you guys.
Got a picture right here of Jay Rink and family.
Yep, and Mr. Joe Rink's son, and they had a fundraiser recently, and of course I sent my money. That was the 4th time I think I sent a check. Jay has Lou Gehrig's disease and suffers with Lou Gehrig, and ALS is the official name of it, and that's his 5 children right there. And if you're feeling generous, that would be a good one in Metairie, Louisiana. You can look it up, J Rink Fest, F-E-S-T, festival, I guess it stands for. It was a big fundraiser, and they had a terrible rain, so I know he didn't get the full benefit that he got last year. They have to have it now at New Orleans City Park. That's how big it's got.
They do that at the racetrack, right?
No.
It's at City Park.
At City Park.
Okay.
City Park.
Well, talking about the racetrack, you got pictures from the racetrack, our local racetrack.
Yes, sir. Evangeline Downs is open. It's got a lot of stake races and a lot of, tonight, Wednesday night now, I've got a horse running, I think, Marquez Sarah. Who is going off at the morning line is 9-2, so that's about 3rd or 4th pick. I had one opening day, the Wednesday when opening season, that was the 8th, and I ran 2nd in the first race. Mr. Joe and I ran 3rd in the 2nd race, and I was favored in the last race, the 10th race, and I came out second to last. So the picking and all of that, just throw all that away and bet what you like, what you see, and what the jockey and the colors, and you know they pick off.
Yeah, just as good a chance.
Pick your own choice. Okay, and that number 1 was Babs and Jim Lopez's horse, and ran 4th.
Right
and
there.
it was good showing. They were well pleased, and of course they bred and raised that horse themselves. So we hope it stays good and sound.
There you go. And here's Miss Vicky's mom.
Vicky's mama, Miss Marilyn, laying there with a big smile, and on the right is Dee Boudreau, that's Dirk Boudreau's wife. She came in with, we call it a little care package of fruit, vegetables, a bottle of water, oranges, chips.
Nice.
That's the second time they do this. I found out Miss Marilyn was in the last day, the first day of this year. She broke one hip on New Year's Eve, and then a week ago she broke the other hip, and it broke. They like to say. And anyhow, Dee and Dirk, great,
good people.
Good people, and I'm talking about volunteers.
Sure.
They volunteer for everything that comes up. Thanks
Good
for
people.
moving to
I know
Opelousas.
that. I know that
And of
personally.
course, he's the CFO of Imperial Fire and Casualty Insurance Company.
And then it looks like you put a little bit of miles between there and
Yeah,
yourself.
my little daughter. So I didn't get to. I'm not in that. I didn't take that picture. My little daughter, which is in the back row, she'd be
fourth
what,
from
the
the
fourth going left. The red dress, and then she's the next one in that back line, and you can just see her little face and blonde hair there. But the gentleman with the yellow tie is Supreme Court Justice Scalia, who loves to come to Louisiana. He hunts and fishes, and in fact, he hunted with the Tony Sastry group, I understand.
Oh,
And
yeah?
I know he hunted with the Pat Morrow group, and then the gentleman with the cane is Judge Feldman. He's a federal district judge, and so Megan and that group of young people, they were just
Good company.
They're good company. They
absolutely
they
good
were
company.
invited to a real fine, fun night of fun, and good elbow rubbing.
I'd say so.
And I'll have to find the little deal.
Yeah, it looks
Craig,
like they're changing the art in
they're
New
changing.
Orleans.
Yeah, there's about I want to say 40 of these art decorations are going to be placed around, I guess, the French Quarters, all over the French Quarters.
I'll have to look for that this weekend. I'll be out there.
Oh, well, good. And this is a second line. This is not our second line dance. We'll get to that. This is another one, and they have several every weekend. I mean, New Orleans is becoming a mecca for weddings.
Oh, absolutely.
It's a destination point. Woo, big words
I'm
there,
telling
Bobby,
you.
boy from Plaisance, Louisiana.
And then it looks like you hit a couple of galleries
Yeah,
right here.
I hit
Get
this
some ideas
gallery,
for
and
Kelly.
yeah, and these are some ideas for Kelly. She could make those. She loves to do her woodworking, and those are easy and very, very popular. And that's a cabris, a crawfish, écrevisse.
And Clovis.
And
Then y'all stopped at the Court of Two Sisters.
yep, and we had a delicious meal. The environment, the good, what you call
The
the
ambiance.
The ambiance is really, really good, and it was.
at
I
that.
hadn't been
It's
there
pretty.
in years, and I don't know if Vicky had ever been there, but we going back. How about that? And Miss Kelly, there's a picture of Miss Terry. I'm sorry, Miss Terry. That's a picture of Bobby.
up
We were
next.
in jeans. It's no fancy
Miss
dressed
Terry.
up. There's Miss Terry right there. She is the sweetheart. She was not she's not a waitress, but she does all the waitress work. And so I slipped her a nice little tip on the side. I didn't want them
That's
to
good.
share in that. And I don't want the boss to know that I did that either. I'm talking about it on worldwide television. No, they probably saw me doing it. They were right in the back of us. But I wanted them to see how good she takes care of her customers. This gentleman here is the director of this Rue Royale Gallery.
Now, I've been to that gallery, and that is my personal favorite around the French Quarter.
Baal, I'll find his card in a little while, his name, but he was sitting there, and I walked all around it. Well, soon we walked in, we wanted to know, no, we just looking. Well, everybody just looking, and they hope you look and you find something. Yeah. But anyhow, we got to a table and we saw a bunch of pictures of local people we recognized, and then we found Glenn Leger. Glenn Leger from Grand Coteau, Larry Leger's brother.
Look at that.
I said, well, you know Glenn? He says, I was selling magazines, and I was working the Sunset, Lafayette, Grand Coteau area, and I called at the home of Glenn, and we made friends, and the friendship led. I was traveling a whole lot of places. I would try to locate an old car, not an old car, maybe a Maserati or a Porsche, you know how they pronounce the super names. Jaguar. And something that had been wrecked but was definitely repairable. And of course Glenn had a super repair shop. Right. So he would give him ideas on who to call on to get these cars, and Glenn would give him leads of local people that he could call on and have a recommendation. So they're still friends today. He knows the children, the birthdays of the kids and everything else. And I talked to Larry. I don't have Glenn's telephone number, but this is a super guy, Rue Royale Gallery. And he's the director. What, we up already?
We up right now, yeah. We got a couple more pictures, quite a few more pictures from New Orleans, but we're going to take a quick 1 minute break.
We got the Reggie Marie Dupre wedding of their beautiful young daughter, Amelie.
And we'll be back in 1 minute.
Welcome back to the fourth quarter of the Bobby Dupre Show. And of course, we're going to have to really rock and roll real quick because we have a lot to show you. And maybe I went a little too long on a couple of subjects, but that's Bobby Dupre.
Let's talk about the Steamboat Warehouse over in Washington, Louisiana. Go over to the Steamboat, and there's a picture of it right there. Absolutely beautiful establishment. Great ambiance. The food is second to none. Chef Jason Huguet will take excellent care of you. He and his staff will take excellent care of you. And you can visit them online at steamboatwarehouse.com in Washington.
Built in 1825 or thereabouts, and that's the backyard overlooking the historic Bayou Cotableau.
Very beautiful.
Washington, Louisiana, historic Washington, I might add.
And Piggly Wiggly over in Opelousas, 2 locations in Opelousas and 1 in Simmsport. Go to their website at gotothepig.com and you can see all of their current specials. Right now, fresh whole smoked picnics, 99 cents a pound. And you can see them all right there on your screen. Sanderson Farms whole fryers, 99 cents a pound. It's great prices. Make sure you shop locally, shop with Piggly Wiggly, and that money stays local, folks. Go to thepig.com.
Okay, fair live for life, health fair. Our family caring for yours. That's the motto of OGH, Opelousas General Hospital. They're going to have a free health screening this Saturday, the 25th, from 8 to 11 a.m., 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. at the Opelousas General South Campus, Opelousas, Louisiana. And we might add that the young man that I talked about, maybe a little too many minutes on that one, but he's an interesting person at the gallery. Rue Royale is Mr. Bile, B-I-L-E-L, Belial McLaughlin. There you go. So I got the card right here to prove that I went to that place. And let's see about some more pictures, please.
Sure. Let's come back in with this one right here. It looks like you were out on
a trick dog,
Bourbon Street.
Royal. We're on Royal Street right here.
Royal, okay. Yeah, I've seen this dog out there myself.
Oh, yeah, the guy makes a living with his dog.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
He went to the dog, and here's a guy making a living clowning that he's a little bear. And this is a pretty little lady doing some texting. When I said, look up, she looked up, and I snapped the picture. No idea who she is. And this is the man who took care of us at the hotel. We were at the Omni Royal on Royal Street, and this is Mr. Lee. Mr. Al. Mr. Al was everywhere when we needed him. That's one of those kind of guys. Thanks, Al.
We got some locals there.
This we down in the garage area, checking out of after the party Saturday night, the wedding. And on the left is Beverly and Paula. Beverly, I'm not sure her last name, but they are sisters, not were. Martinez, Dr. Martinez's daughter, Frida, they had 2 daughters, and Paula's young son right here, Jonathan. And the next one will be on the right is Megan. Now you can see Megan in that picture. Megan. And Amanda Mills, and of course that's Mike and Paula Mills' young daughter, and they're friends. And this is Joe Martinez, not the doctor. This is Joe. That would be second or third. I'm not sure which it is, but we were all checking out of the hotel there.
And I appreciate his shirt. Dads Against Daughters Dating. I agree with you.
And recently, the Palace Cafe in Opelousas had their sign reconditioned, repainted, reconditioned. And I see Dupre Carrier Gotcha had theirs redone. Boy, it stands up beautiful.
Colorful,
more colorful than when yours truly had it designed when I was there with them.
Sure
and
is.
Beautiful colors. Guys, y'all did a great job. Jenny, y'all did a great job, baby. And this is going to be a show that's going to be put on at Cajun Harley-Davidson this Saturday, April 25th.
From 11 to 4.
11 to 4. And they're going to have all kind of specials. And the first 40 that call in get a free T-shirt. I think I ought to get a free T-shirt for the advertising. What about it, Adam? If you listen, y'all tell him that he owes one to Bobby Dupre and Matt LeBlanc. Matt's a bike rider too.
I'll wear my Harley shirt.
We'll be happy to wear it.
And we showed those earlier.
Yep. And this is Mr. Lloyd Romero, who passed away recently. A well-known gentleman in Acadiana, in the state of Louisiana. He, of course, was a very decorated, a very hard-working Marine in the Second World War. He was a retired state trooper, retired horseman. He was president of HBPA. He had a horse named Hollowed Dreams that won, I don't know if it wasn't 46 or so races. We needed to win one more race to have a big special record, maybe a worldwide record, and didn't win that race. But he was recognized at the state legislature for the achievement and the name recognition that Louisiana horse racing business got worldwide. Our sympathies to Lloyd Romero's death. We have the late notice just before taping began, the death of a longtime friend, Mr. Willis Fontenot, age 94. His wife, of course, survives him, Miss Gertie, and his 6 children, Sherry, Laura, Diane, Peggy, Wayne, and Kim. And of course, we learned about this through Jim Lopez, but Jim learned about it through his brother, Stevie Dupre. Stevie took Mr. Willis under his arm. I mean, it was like his father. And he was a World War II veteran. He had a lot to tell you, but he kept it all until just the last few years.
Most of them did.
He spoke a little bit about some of the tragedies they went through and some of the hard times and things that they viewed and remembered but don't talk about it. And the funeral, of course, it looks like the rosary will be on Thursday afternoon. Lafon Ordwin in Opelousas is going to handle the arrangements, and the funeral will be Friday. The times I didn't know going on.
Well, you can look on Lafon Ordwin Funeral Home's website and find out those times.
Thank you very much. Our very deepest sympathies to the Willis Fontenot family. And this is the band that I told you. Yeah, that Vicky, I imagine, took this. Somebody did.
Looks like out of a magazine or something.
Yep. And this is the band. I've been to 3 weddings in New Orleans area. No relationship, no connection between the 3, and all 3 hired this same band right here. So if you're going to have a wedding or a function in the New Orleans area, this is the band you need to get. The young people and the dancers, not just young, everybody was dancing, literally never got off the floor the whole show while we were there.
You got a good band up there.
And this is one of the Lewis brothers. He came up to me and introduced himself. His wife, of course, works with Reggie and Marie. Been with them, helped raise all the children, and the young Amelie,
The bride.
The bride. They know her from day one, and in fact, they dancing at one point here. This is my niece. The second to the left is Dawn and her young daughter, and I called Wilda, and Wilda never called me back. I wanted to get this young daughter name because, boy, she's close to her papa, Cody Dupre. And then, how about, look how I'm dressed up, man. I got a bow tie, man. Look. And this my niece. My niece on the left is Simone. My niece on my left, on the right of me, in the picture, is Andre. And then all the way on the right was the bride's father, my nephew, Reggie Dupre. And Reggie was sick early in the week, but Dr. Tate, Richard Tate in Opelousas, doctored him up and got him ready for the function.
Dr. Tate's
a
good
beautiful, beautiful wedding. We had a ball. Reggie and Marie, y'all did a beautiful job. And of course, Matthew's mama, understand, had a beautiful function for you all for the rehearsal night on Friday night.
And they must have done a lot of dancing because I see the barefoot
this is the second line walk from the Cabildo where the wedding took place over to the House of Blues. And they took the shoes off and barefoot. And they had a little light drizzle when we started, but it stopped, or either that or we were having so much fun we didn't notice it. And
there you are in your what you call that? That's not seersucker, is it?
Yeah, well, that's a seersucker suit, boy. That's what I went to interviewed in January with Mr. F.A. Morgan to become a bail bondsman in 1959.
Should have let you play in the band right there.
Yep. That.
You want to show that?
Yeah, this is my little handkerchief. We all were given one like this, and we were walking the second line, and that's right. And Matt and Amelie, April 18, 2015. I'm going to save this. When I write my book, I'll take a picture of it, and that'll be one of the pages.
There you go.
And this is...
That's outside at House of Blues.
House of Blues, walkway.
Crossroads Cafe.
Yeah, you know about that place. Y'all need to play over there, though. Y'all put that on your resume. We'll go arrange that. And that is Reggie and Marie's oldest child, and she's not old, but she's the oldest. And that's Miss Renee and her husband. And of course, a baby is due, I think, in June. And she's an attorney for a large oil industry company, Anadarko Energy. And I'm pretty soon she'll be taking care of the baby rather than doing that law work. But,
for a while at least, I'm sure.
And then this is a couple, Jamie and Donna White from Monroe, Louisiana. And I asked them, did they know Buddy Empanada? They said football games wouldn't happen in over at UL Monroe. If Buddy cooking and cutting up and what he does for the school.
I'm going to have to taste some of Buddy's cooking. That's twice in a week.
Yeah, twice in a week we talk about it. But Jamie and Donna were friends of Reggie and Cody and the family.
And that's
Cody, and that's the little, that's his granddaughter. And I told him, I said, I know who's going to be getting a big share of that estate when something happens to you and Wilda. I said, she is close to her papa. She didn't let him get out of her sight. Look, there she is again. Oh, yeah. And that's Lauren Carey. You know Lauren. Runs Hope for Opelousas for Reggie and all of us who are investors in Hope for Opelousas. And we're investing in the young people. And this is a black and white of Bobby and Cody, brothers from Plaisance, Louisiana. We love to let them know where we're from.
That's the same
and then that same picture,
color.
But in color. And there's Renee with one of her college friends. And this is a guy that was doing a very unusual piece of artwork. And I don't know what they even call it, but he was diagramming. He was sketching, diagramming the back of the people that were dancing over there. And I bet you it's going to be a beautiful, beautiful picture when he finishes.
New Orleans just has so much talent.
And that's Matt right there. That's the groom cutting up. And look his bride right in the back. She's got a hand. She's laughing. He's cutting up so much. She's cutting up now.
Yeah.
And then we got a picture of her playing the drums. And this is a very simple wedding cake. And I've got to take 1 minute to say something. When you looked up their registry, which is how you buy the gift that they still need.
Sure.
And in that registry, they suggested that you, instead of buying a gift, donate to your favorite charity. I've
That's
never
a good
heard of
sentiment.
that before. I never saw that before, but I saw it with that young couple. Isn't that a great way to start
Great
a new
sentiment.
marriage? Giving to others that need it more than yourself.
Sure,
I was
absolutely.
impressed. To all of you that have something to do with the kids, those kids, it's a beautiful. How many more pictures we have? We have a lot.
Still got about 25 more pictures. I
Can
don't think
you-
we're going to get to them.
No,
We're just going
that's
to
the
kind of
picture.
scroll through a
That's
few here.
Wilder,
There's your
that's-
sister-in-law.
Yep, grandmother. There's Vicky and I. And there's Andre and Simone. There she is, playing the drums. She took that bottom part of the dress off,
Uh-huh.
that made in two pieces. You know, they
Got
come
up
up with
there and played the
ideas.
drums with the band.
Yep,
That's a good wedding.
And, there's Mr. Lewis dancing. He saw her raised, and Wilder, they gave out these little,
Yeah,
what you
I see
call
'em, the
them?
little glow sticks, glow strips.
Yeah, glow stick. Looks good on me. That's my buddy, Shoe Shine Man. I went and gave him a $10 tip. I said, I haven't been able to use you in a while, but I know you need it worse than I do, so here it is. That man was sitting up on that. He said, Mister, you just give your money away? No, I said, to people like him that
Yeah.
deserve it.
And you got Reggie.
Reggie in the,
cart.
pedal mobile.
Yeah, what you call those? Oh, it's on the tip of my tongue. Oh well, I'll get to it
Yeah.
another time. And a lot more dancing pictures.
That's the
and
wedding.
scenes from the wedding.
Now that they're coming down from the wedding upstairs, and there's Matt all the way on the left with his grooms. Oh, it was beautiful. I
It
mean
sure
to
was.
tell
It
you,
looks like-
it was just gorgeous.
And
It was
good
a
old New
beautiful.
Orleans.
Yep. And there she
Getting
is
ready.
getting ready for the wedding. And there's
And you
Bob
and
and Cody casual.
And that's it. We got through all the pictures.
And
Kinda went
we
through
close
quick.
the programs each week asking you to consider attending the church of your choice this weekend. And we close with a prayer. Lord, you have given me a good start. Let me also have a good ending.
I like that one.
Thank you for viewing. Thank you for listening. And thank you, Matt, for assisting.